Hey, what's going on today, guys? Hope everyone's having a blessed week. So today I kind of had to decide to be a little bit open and vulnerable with what happened to me in this past week and how the enemy's really good at his job, but God's even better. So I just kind of wanted to talk about that this week because it's the big event that happened for me. So I thought it might be able to help someone else out. So we know that the enemy, Satan, he's here to steal, kill, and destroy. We're told that. We're told that in the word, and we can see it every single day when people give in to what's wrong or what's evil. They're given to an evil spirit, if you will, greed, money, uh, hatred, condemnation, and whatever the case may be. And that's how the enemy works. He kind of gets in our head and makes us believe these lies because that's how he works is through lies. He's not strong enough to do anything else. All he can do is just manipulate us, and he's really good at it. So he did that with me actually this week. He, he had just taken some like old past problems, trauma, history, whatever you want to call it, from my past. And when I was, talking with my girlfriend, yeah, she had texted me something, and which was nothing bad, nothing wrong in the slightest. But there was something in there that I took from old lies and traumas that I held on to from the enemy that, for whatever reason, he started whispering in my ear again, and I started to believe this lie from years and years ago. And so that built up and it didn't get taken care of the entire day because I just wallowed in it and I just kept sitting there thinking and believing what he was talking about. And it wasn't until later on that evening that I actually talked with my girl, and we were able to clear everything up. And it was, I know you didn't even do anything wrong, but this led to that, and whatever happened, the enemy got a huge foothold on me, and he did for that day, and he and it sucked. It was a very heavy day for me. But then after I was actually able to go and be open and honest with her, and we were able to talk about what was really going on, and then we were able to invite, Yeshua to come in and heal that area of those lies and all that evil that had gone on, and we invited him to come in and to heal that and to heal me in that moment, and so that I don't hold on to that and take that into a future relationship. So I just wanted to talk about that, not because I even wanted to, but because I just felt like it really pertained to this idea of when we're working to become better in our lives, whether it is that you are trying to get on that path to know God, which is obviously the most important path any one of us will ever be on, no matter what. And but even if we're just working to just become a little bit better, just trying to work on ourselves, just trying to find our purpose in life, just trying to be a better person, to help people out, to learn more, to build ourselves up, whatever that kind of looks like for you and whatever's in front of you and what your path and calling is. Even if you're just trying to be better and not living in what is so normalized today, especially for men, to live in this depressed, sad boy, you know, anxious state of believing in all this crap and all these lies and everything that's gone on in the West here, that we've just been very much lied to, and it's really screwed us up. So, anyways, I still held on to some of that, which I didn't even know about until it happened. So that's how you still got things to work on and to heal from. So, but when you're trying to be better, again, just a little bit, 1% every day, I love to say and talk about being 1% better each day. Or, whether it's, you're going down and you're willing to accept, Yeshua as the Messiah, and you are willing to take those steps forward to believing in God and developing that relationship, whatever form of getting and being better that you are going to be doing, that's going to put the enemy on high alert because he's here to steal, kill, and destroy. He's here to steal your joy. He's here to kill you. He's here to destroy any kind of good that the Father would be able to use you for because, we're all just vessels. Whether we allow God to use us or not, that's a different question on whether you want that to happen. But that's what the enemy's here to do, is to steal, kill, and destroy. And he will do it, and he's very good at what he does if we allow him, if we give him that power. Again, if we listen to those lies and those whispers, then we give that power to him, and then we believe in all that crap. And then that veers us off into going and down those dark holes and trails. And we just kind of dig our own graves at that point. So So whenever we're working on ourselves, the enemy's on high alert, and he's like, no, I don't want you to be happy. I don't want you to be good. I don't want you to be set. I don't want you to know God and have a relationship with him. I need you to be sad and all these things. So working on yourself is going to be such a monumental, the one of the best, probably, yeah, one of the best things you can actually do is to be able to work on yourself every single day in your body, mind, soul, spirit, physically, mentally, emotionally. Work on yourself, develop to become better and better each and every day, and then you can understand and see how the enemy's going to come after you and how you can use God's word to deflect that, and how you can keep growing and building and not staying stagnant or where you're at and believing in whatever the lies are that we've been believing for years. Because I've spent most of my life believing in lies from the enemy, and it wasn't only in the past few years that I listened to God and turned to him, and he was able to start fixing me up and working on me because I allowed him to. So work on yourself, because that's going to make the enemy mad, and that's going to make him actually come after you more. And unfortunately, it is going to, uh, because we're also told that the world hated Jesus first, right? He said that it hated him first, so it's going to hate us if we love Jesus, then the world will hate us because it hated Jesus already first. So it's going to suck. It's going to be a hard battle, but the amount of the how awesome it will be, the blessings that will come from it, the sense of satisfaction and purpose and love that you'll feel from the Father is a million, infinitely time, billion times better than any of all the pain and suffering and hard times that the enemy's going to bring. Because again, whatever the enemy used for evil, God can and will use for good. Because the enemy tried to mess with me this week by bringing up some stuff, and then after I went to the Father with it, after I went to my girl and was open and talked about it and brought God into the mix to bring the healing. Now we don't have that problem anymore. Now that foothold has been broken, and now the enemy can't use that anymore. There's still plenty in there, I'm sure, things that he's going to use to attack us. But that's how I know that that's something good, because if the enemy's coming after you, that means that God's got something for you, and the enemy's trying to break that. So whether it's you individually, or whether it's a relationship, or whatever it looks like for you, the enemy will be coming after you if you are willing to go against the enemy. If you're doing what he says and you're just his little slave, well then, yeah, he's going to leave you alone. Your life's still going to probably suck at times and whatnot, but he'll probably leave you alone because you're not a threat to him. But if you go against him, then you are a threat. So Seneca says, fire tests gold, adversity is strong men. Yeah, life's going to be hard. You're going to be tested and challenged, okay? And we need to. You cannot grow without being challenged. St. Augustine says, patience is the companion of wisdom. Being in the storm, I was just talking about this week with several people actually. They're in the storm, and the main thing to remember is that when you are in a storm, whenever we're in a storm, no matter what, God is with you in the storm. That doesn't mean you're not going to get wet. That doesn't mean you're probably not going to get hit with lightning a few times. But that means that you're going to get from one end to the other. You're going to go through the storm, and God's with you in it. So it's going to suck and it's going to hurt, but you can get through it. And you will, because God is there with you. So if you believe and trust that and allow that to be your truth and hold on to that truth, then everything will be fine. Doesn't mean you won't be tired. Doesn't mean it won't have challenged you. Doesn't mean it won't test your friendships, relationships, physically, mentally. It's not going to challenge every part of you. It's meant to. That's what makes you grow. All right. St. Augustine also has one that goes, humility is the solid foundation of all virtues. You got to remember that it's not you who does anything. It is the Father who does it. He's the one who blesses you with it. He gives it to you. He's the one who blesses you with the job. He's the one that brings that person for you. He's the one that brings in your income and gives you a home and gives you food. He's the one who allows all that to have happen. So remembering that we have to go back to the Father and thank him for everything, it's a very solid way of having that gratitude every single day, of saying, I know it's all you. I'm just a steward of this job you gave me. I'm just a steward of the family you've given me. I'm a steward of all of the money you give me. I'm a steward of X, Y, and Z. So Socrates has one that goes, the only good is knowledge and the only evil is ignorance. When we bury our heads in the sand and we try to ignore the fact of what's going on in the world, all the evil, pain, suffering, killing, death, murder, everything. If we try to ignore it, that you are not only a part of the problem, but you're worse than the problem. There's another quote, I can't remember it off the top of my head, but there's another one that mentions something that, is worse for you to be like to know what was going on and to just allow the kind of the pain and the harm to happen because now you're not ignorant, you're just weak and scared to confront that because you are a weak and scared individual, which sucks. I've been there and I know what it's like to be weak and scared, and I hated it. So that's why I was like, I need to figure out how to be better. And that's taken literally whatever it is. I don't know, 8, 10 years now since I kind of started thinking like that. And it's still building. So you're never there, but you are much further than you used to be. So Epictetus has one that goes, a man is not finished when he is defeated. He is finished when he quits. Okay. So you have it in you to be able, it doesn't matter how many times you fall, it matters how many times you get up. You fall 7 times, get up 7 times and keep going. It doesn't matter if you've been able to sprint your entire life and then you trip and fall. If you're able to crawl, you're still moving forward. You can still inch your way forward by crawling. And sometimes you need to do that. Sometimes that happens. That's happened to me several different times. I have sprinted and then I got gassed out and I was just done. And someone had to come in there and remind me it's not a sprint, it's a constant journey. So then you start crawling and then you get yourself back up and then you start walking again. And sometimes you can run, sometimes you gotta crawl, but you never quit. Do not quit, no matter what. Every successful person on the planet, whatever your version of success is based on them never quitting. They kept showing up and they kept putting in the work when it sucked. John Eldridge, I love this guy. Um, He's got one that goes, every man is a warrior inside, but the choice to fight is his own. Are you willing to stand up for what you believe in? Are you willing to fight for what you believe in? Are you willing to fight for your family? Are you willing to fight for your friends, for your relationship, for your friendships, for what you believe in? Or what are you willing to stand up and believe in and to fight for? And that means like really fight, as in you put your life on the line. That means you actually put your security on the line, that you put your safety on the line. You're putting everything on the line when you fight, when you are challenging something. And we're talking about something much bigger than, some pickpocket in this world. We're talking about the enemy that is the ruler of this realm, of this world, the Prince of Darkness. He is one calling the shots. And that's who our battle is against. Okay. I just read this one this morning and it stood out to me. So this is Isaiah 55, 10 to 11. It goes, for as the rain and the snow come down from heaven and do not return there without watering the earth and making it produce and sprout and providing seed to the sower and bread to the eater, so will my word be which goes out of my mouth, and it will not return to me empty, without accomplishing what I desire and without succeeding in the purpose for which I sent it. So I mean, that kind of like was a nice reassurance to me this morning, when I was reading it, because he's just talking about, he's saying like he's got a purpose behind everything. So no matter what he does, his will is going to be done. Okay. It is always God's will, not ours. So no matter what we do, it will be his. So whatever it is, whether it's the rain he brings, whether it's the storm that comes, there's always a bright, beautiful sky that's going to come up after a storm, right? There's always going to be that rainbow after, the dark clouds at night. So there's always going to be something good that comes out of the pain or the hardship and whatnot. Like I was saying earlier, again, whatever the enemy uses for evil, God will use for good. And that's in a billion different examples and stories throughout time. So the one I want to finish off on is Isaiah 14, 16 to 17, because this one's talking about Satan. So those who see you will gaze at you. They will ponder over you, saying, is this the man who made the earth tremble, who shook kingdoms, who made the world like a wilderness and overthrew its cities, who did not allow his prisoners to go home? This one's talking about Satan because it's saying when they see you, they're gonna gaze at you and be like, "You're the one? It was you? Like, you're so pathetic." It's like the Wizard of Oz, and there's that dude who's acting like a big wizard and scary and magical and powerful, and yet he's just this scrawny little scared weak turd that's behind a curtain using all these smoke and mirrors to make himself look bigger and scarier. And that's pretty much what Satan is that the only power he has is what we give him. And that is those thoughts. Again, that's how he comes in. He comes in those thoughts. So when you're thinking, oh, good thing, good thing, good thing, oh, this bad thought, oh, this negative thought, oh, this past problem, oh, this something bad, negative, wrong, evil. That's how the enemy is. That's how they come in, and they just secretly get in there, and they do that two truths and a lie crap, and they're really good at it. And I believe them many times in my life as well. But you are pretty much the way I have this analogy in my head is that who you are, your soul is like this house, and there's lights around it, and if you allow the Father in there, it's going to be, the light's going to be shining bright, and you can see that from out and about. Now the enemy, the evil lies and spirits, they're all going to be floating around, if you will, and you are the bouncer to the house because it's you. You either allow the Father in or you allow the enemy in. And this is at every point of every day and every conversation and every thought and every bit of everything. That's why it is a daily battle and it is a daily struggle to fight against the flesh and to carry your cross. So the enemy can come and he can knock on the door and he can say, "Oh, hey, I'm that thought. I'm that old memory. I'm that something. I'm here to protect you. Remember your ex, she did the same thing, and that's before she, cheated on you and left and broke your heart and did all this stuff. I'm here to protect you, man. Like, let me come in and I'll help you out." And that's at least that's how I understand it. And the best way I can explain it in my mind is that that's how the enemy will come to us. They'll give us two truths and a lie, and they'll try to make it look like they are on our side. And then whether you open that door and say, "Come on in, yeah, help me out," then you give that enemy the you give them the permission. You're allowing them in, and that's just a lie. That's just pain and trauma and whatever. And that's what comes in, and that's where they get their power from. But if you command them to and say, "No, in Jesus' name, leave," "No, in Yeshua's name, leave, get out," this is the house of the Lord, this is his temple, this is, I'm under his authority. If you command it out, then it's gone. And I can tell you, I do this all the time. A thought, something comes up, and I will command it away in Yeshua's name. And that's happened for me all the time, every day, even today, I did it. And it's like, so okay, it's like, okay, I know it's real because I was thinking this thing, I commanded it to go away in Yeshua's name, and now I feel better afterwards because I don't feel that there anymore. It doesn't mean that he's not coming back 5 minutes later to come knocking on the door and be like, "Hey, I know you told me to go away, but I want to come back, and because I want to make sure that, you know, I know you're not probably in the right mindset and headspace to really think about what my offer is." And he's a master manipulator, right? That's how the enemy works. He's able to come and mess with you in any way like that. So, anyways, that's just been my thought for the day. I just want to encourage you guys to be able to fight against them, to work on yourself, and to know that the enemy's going to come in and he's going to attack you no matter what. But especially if you try to turn and focus on God and you try to make yourself better, then he is going to just come at you and he's going to be on high alert. And he's like, "No, my job is to take every soul. I don't want God to have them. He wants them and he wants everyone to die and he wants everyone to suffer." So that's the kind of battle that we're facing. So, anyways, Lord knows I can go on for hours, but I hope that was able to be helpful, eye-opening or something, or maybe was able to help you out in some way. So I hope the best for you guys. I love y'all. You have a very blessed week. Until next time, be blessed.